From Los Angeles and Nashville, get ready to go behind the scenes with Entertainment Dudes. What happens when you pair a director, a voice actor in a world, and some of the most interesting people in entertainment? You're about to find out.
Kim, have you ever tried these?
These? What?
Grenades?
These? These? Yeah, I've tried these.
Yes. What are they? Is this a sponsorship? I don't think so, but it could be.
No, this is not. It could be grenades. If you want to sponsor Entertainment Dudes, just email us. These are grenades. This is a gum from Hawaii, and it is packed with menthol. You put this in your mouth, and it just explodes with. So, voice actors, anybody that is looking just to clear your sinuses up, clear your throat up, these will do it, and they taste great too. So
that was a good ad, Kim. I like that. I'm ready to
grenades. Grenades. These are amazing. These are
buy now.
These are on the 10. See, they've got a scale on there that says this one is max.
Oh, you got the max. You got max.
Yeah, max. And
do they have a more mild version too?
They're like yeah, they've got they go up and down the scale, but the max, man, this is just like popping in and whoa, like my entire sinuses, I can feel it through.
Clear. Ooh. I can see clearly now.
Oh my gosh.
Brain is gone.
So grenades.
I can see all obstacles in his way.
All right. Now I'm clear. So there we go. Grenades. Check these things out. Grenadesgum.com. Grenadesgum.com. This is not sponsored.
Yet. Dot. Well, for those of you who didn't catch last week's part 1, you're going to need to listen to the last week's episode of Lisa deSouza. She's talking about a new exciting film festival.
Rewind that film.
Rewind that beautiful bean footage. Yes. Well, I think we need to get started again on this episode so we don't make people stay forever. We've already gone 4 minutes.
Part 2 with
Lisa deSouza. Welcome to the show. We're excited to have you for our second part of your awesome story. Just really quickly, for anybody that doesn't know, who are you, what are you doing, and what's coming up pretty soon here in Los Angeles?
Right. So my name is Lisa deSouza. I am the founder and executive director of the Santa Clarita International Film Festival, lovingly known as SCIFF, SCIFF.
Check out behind her.
That's right. Poster behind. Wait,
poster.
Behind that. Okay. Cameras that there.
That's right. Your other right. There we go.
Yes. Your other right.
And so it is we are barreling into year 2 right now, and I mean barreling because in T-9 days, December 8th of 2022 is our kickoff. So we're kicking off our film program at the Lemley in New Hall, December 8th. And then we have film that runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we kick off our music and our comedy festival at the American Legion Hall, which is right behind the Old Town New Hall Library. It's also for a good cause, supports our veterans. Come drink to your heart's content, because all that money goes to them. So drink till you vomit in the sink. And then you'll have comedy, music, film, all running with a visual arts gallery that's happening December 8th, 9th, and 10th and 11th. We've got a closing ceremony with an awards show, as well as an activism award. Actually, it's going out to Ed Bakley Jr. and his lovely wife this year. And that's going to be December 11th. And then we wrap it up. I go to sleep for about 10 days, and then I wake up in 2023 and we do it all over again.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. A lot of times, in order for a movie to make any money in the box office now, to get butts in the seats is really the challenge. How do you get butts in seats, and like what draws them there? And especially since movie viewership total is dwindling, even though it made more money this year, the amount of tickets was more. So there's only so much money you can charge people, and there's like a plateau in that. So I think that's what they're saying. What are those reliable ones that they know consistently make money that people will go see? And I think it's most of the industry is leaning on those tent pole items. So that's where I think the the playing field really opens up for people who can create genuinely incredible stories for, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, and have festivals like this where people get a chance to say, hey, maybe we can actually use that and make money in the theater. Or I think, get a chance to have it play. And part of that's old school. That's been around a long time, but it has, I think, like you said, in the shuffle, when the film festivals have been increasingly taken over by industry films with huge names, and it's really kicked everybody out that had originally been maybe had a really incredible idea. There's just no way they're going to get it there anymore. So I think that's
when
an
Kevin
awesome
Smith says, right, like Jay and Silent Bob would never be picked up in this current marketplace. I mean, I think that says something.
Yeah. Jay and Silent Bob was so awesome. Or any of those movies. I think a lot of the movies from the 90s that were, I mean, they're just transformative during those years. Like you don't see any of those anymore. And
original.
Yeah.
Original.
I have a complete brain fart.
Right? There's like a hunger for it. And I mean, it's kind of crazy because again, the Skiff brand hasn't been built yet. Like that's the job, right? That's what I'm working on. But like, I mean, I've heard, through like, 1 degree of separation, really, really, and again, I'll leave names out of it, but like well-known, actors who've got their production companies who are like, God, I want to find the next great independent. Where do I go? Because look, I mean, fair statement, right? Like when you come down here, right? Where I am, right? Come down here, there's a lot of crap you got to go through. Like, how do you get to those brilliant diamonds?
The gems.
Right? Like, how do you find them? Right. And it used to be like the Sundances were the place where you went, where you knew that, you were going to find, now it's industry. Right. And then on the flip side, you've got, great gems who are like, hello, don't you see me shining? Can't you come, so how do you connect that? And I think that's really the hunger, right? That at least I'm seeing, which is like, God damn it. Yes. Like, can we just get back to that again? And from both sides where, where they're saying, great, let's find some great films. Oh, great. Let me be the next, let me go find the next Kevin Smith. Let me go find, but right now, I mean, even the festival circuit, so to speak, is a little bit of a crapshoot. You're lucky if the right person walks in at the right time, but is there still that place where you can go and be like, I know that I'm, my budget was, a fraction of what, and I still was able to put out pro content and a solid whatever, and someone goes, yeah, I want to see that.
Well, do you look at this as kind of a rebirth, maybe? I mean, a modern rebirth of, a reset.
I would love that if that's what I mean, I think so. I hope so. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get to. I mean, I've had these conversations with people. At some point, the monster will devour its creator. I know that. It's just the nature of it, right?
Right.
If you build something good, at some point it will become a beast. But I will cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, I think that's why not even year 2, there's this momentum that we're feeling.
It's a hunger.
There's a hunger. There's
I think it's a hunger for real, for authenticity, for truth, for something solid that you can stand on, and connecting. It's everywhere. It's in advertising, it's in purchasing, it's in marketing, it's in every field that I've come in contact with. There's a hunger for what's real and what connects, and not digital connect. I think real, like we said, that dynamic that you feel when you're engaged with another person, even a healthy debate. It's exciting. It's that's where it comes from, and that's why I think right now is a phenomenal time for this, because we knew what we had before, we've tasted and we've seen, and maybe we could find a cool hybrid of the two where we can use the tools that are out now to create stories that connect with authenticity of what we know.
Wonderful. So another thing that I've been thinking about recently is not a film, but something like WandaVision. You were talking about the older types of movies and TV shows, and there was a lot of online vitriol in the beginning because people didn't get what they were doing as far as, because it was a slower pace. If you go back, they hit everything exactly. But I think sometimes in some people's mind, today's audiences can't stick around for a story to develop.
Yep.
And we need to relearn that, because if the story is good, it's worth sticking around for.
Agreed.
Right.
But think about the mentality of what we live in. Again, swipe right, swipe left.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I didn't get my hamburger in 5 minutes. I need to speak to your manager. Right. Like, I mean, right. Yeah. I mean, and really, like, when you think about, like, you know, I'm going to go online. I'm going to click on things and have it then delivered to my doorstep in a box.
Today.
Yes,
today, right?
How dare you? I mean, so think about the psychology that we're building, like the ability to like unpack things and see the nuance in all the things as we slowly unpack it, right? I mean, isn't that what life is? And how are we losing that, right? Like the ability to pick something up and look at it with curiosity, right? And stop and say, oh, look at this for a second, with almost like a childlike wonderment again, right? Like, how much have we lost that? And I don't necessarily, you know, I think it's the nature of the world we live in. Everything now, when we want, I mean, it's almost like I feel like it's breaking into Veruca Salt, right? Don't care how I want it now, right? Like, I mean, it's exactly that, you know? And so it's, but everyone's Veruca Salt, and they all want a goose that lays a golden egg now, right? And when you do that, you don't stick around for the reveal. You don't stick around for, as all human beings, their growth that happens through flaws and bad decisions and rallying back. And if you don't stick around through that, you can't root for the anti-hero. You can't root, you know what I mean? All of that stuff is lost because it's now.
I think that's interesting. It's so incredible. I see that with Andor. So Star Wars is so like, it's in your face, it's quick, it's lightsabers, Andor is a slow burn. And that's why I was so shocked with this story, because it developed all of these characters. Every single one of them had all these flaws. All of them went through this crazy changes and challenges, and ultimately all ended up together in the same space. And then you see how every single person's life had impacted, who got them all to that moment. I was like, ooh, I thought, oh my gosh, that is storytelling next level. But a lot of the comments online are like, too slow. Why is this thing so slow? It's taking forever to get anywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're missing like one of the greatest builds in sci-fi I've ever seen of characters and payoff. Like the payoff was like, oh my gosh, incredible.
Well, I mean, like, you think about Blade Runner, right? 2024, right?
2024, like, slow burn, but
slow burn, right? And I know so many people were like, oh my God. And I was like, but that was the pace, and that was like the understanding. That was an homage to what it was. And you know, the technology allowed for much more beautiful kind of, like photography and production design, and, you know, same with Dune, right? Like, but slow, and that's the nature of it, how they develop it, and they build, you know, and there has to be also, you know, an understanding and a respect for, you know, some things are going to be fast, some things are going to be slow. Again, there can be different things. There can be different, and it's okay.
Just like society, right? Right. I mean, there's a million different. It's a kaleidoscope.
But now but it comes back to that thing of like, we all have to be the same. We're all right. We're all, you know, factioned out into little tribes, and what I say is on, and if you say the wrong, versus this kind of like, let me take a little bit from that, and let me take a little bit from that, and look at this amazing hodgepodge I have, you know, and I very much, when I look at things, or when I'm thinking about like how, you know, how do I direct the actors, what am I looking for, you know, hey DP, this is what I'm thinking, oh look, I really like what you just found, you know, I mean, it's like, oh, well, what do we think about that? What about a Dutch angle? Because I saw that here. You know, like, you're talking about all these things that you know, you're I've always said I'm completely selfish. I will take the best out of everybody that I ever have and leave the rest, right? Because but that's what you should be doing, right?
Yes.
Take what works for you, leave the rest behind, and hopefully that makes you better, happier, wiser, smarter, faster. I don't know, whatever, and peace be upon you as you go on your way. So. That's my 2 cents anyway, but
I think we'll all ultimately rebel against homogeny at some point. There's only so long you can press people together and tell them that they are a certain way and expecting, like delivering the same food at the same place.
Right.
Like I find myself rejecting. I don't want to go to fast food chains anymore. I don't want to go to huge. Give me the mom and pop. Let me find something interesting, unique, that small place where it's got its own vibe. And it's like I'm done with the sameness of so many things. I'm like,
how boring is everything? Everything's the same. That's boring.
So boring.
Right?
Like, because I was
That's
just in Europe. I was just in Europe recently, and you go every little street you go on, it's different. Every single thing is different. Every restaurant is different. And I come back, which I love the state. They go and it's like there's the Starbucks, there's this. It's the same no matter what state you go to. It's literally like a same town everywhere. You just spent 5 hours on a plane to go to the same place. I'm like, so I love that. And I think there's something like this that you're creating a community and a bunch of people from here coming together, and then other people bringing some ideas and stories and challenging one another through the lore that we tell. I mean, what is the point of a story if not to expose us as human beings to critique and criticism? That's right. A story is.
That's right.
Yeah.
And all on the good, the bad, the ugly, all the pretty and the dirty parts, right? Like, I mean, that's exactly, and to not be afraid of that. Like, I don't know when we became, when did we become such a culture of fear, right? Like, and homogeny, like you said.
Shocked me, yeah.
And here's the thing, like, I truly hope that it is about, like, you can only press people so far, so long, because I don't necessarily know, like, I remember, like, when you and I were talking, about New York, right? Like, I remember a New York where, you could walk into, like, a sleazy bar and there were, investment bankers next to models, next to, Hell's Angel bikers. Like, I remember this bar I went to on 26th on West Side Highway. Like, that was the eclectic nature. And I remember walking by this investment banker having this argument with a Hell's Angel about Dostoevsky. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But that's so amazing. Like, my 19-year-old mind was blown at that point, that's gone. You know what I mean? Like,
you need to visit Nashville. There's a place called Arnold's here. It's a meat and three, a little restaurant, and you will run into politicians, country music singers, actors, actresses. They hire homeless people to actually run the actual deal, and it's a whole mishmash of every single kind of person you could think of, and it's all right there in one area, and it's beautiful. It's so great, and it's so tight. You'll go in there and you'll sit down with complete strangers and strike up a conversation, and you'll see a construction worker with a really big politician, and then a country music singer walks in, and they're all sitting at the table talking, and it's
where's that?
That's Arnold's. You remember
Arnold's? Yeah, I thought you were saying Tootsie's. I was like, that sounds like Tootsie's.
Tootsie's too. Yeah. You're right. There's more than one place here in Nashville that does it. So
it's really colorful.
I think it's like I don't see that in New York anymore. I definitely am seeing it less and less. And I mean, when CBGBs, like, how many people, like, think about CBGBs. In fact, I saw the funniest meme when COVID hit. It was like, if you can go to the bathroom of CBGBs and survive, you will survive COVID. Like, it's, but it's true. And you remember that? So it's like, but that shut down.
Yeah.
It's in Vegas now. You know what I mean? Like, I just, that kind of, and the pushing on the home, like, if you've never seen it, how do you know?
Yeah.
Was it? I almost think there's that gut.
You need to push out,
I think we know what to push out too, because there's a sense of what we have lost, and there's an understanding and wisdom that comes from that. And maybe that's expressed in the stories that we create going forward. And for those who didn't experience it, I mean, there's got to be a sense of there's more. and people have had that before. So if you look at former Soviet countries or things that have fallen apart, when they finally rebel, there's an understanding that there's something more. This is not it. There is more. What is that is a big question mark. No clue what's on the other side. So I think, yeah, like you said, for people who are born into this, that's all they know, the pressure, that's what they feel. There's almost got to be a sense of release. At least the first thing I think you experience is a relief, like, oh, phew, we're free. But then there's that huge, like, now what? Like, oh my gosh. So maybe a lot of really cool things could come out of that. New ideas, because they're expressed have experienced what happened before. There's an expression of that freedom, and then the fear that followed, and then dealing with the fear, which creates new ideas. It's possible, combined with what we've experienced before, and those stories, they could be really cool.
I hope so. I mean, I fear it's like Mr. Anderson, you know what I mean? Like, do you really have, I mean, how many people, you know, what was so interesting to me is, like, again, as a writer, right? Like, I start observing, like, when the pandemic hit and kind of all the, you know, the neuroses that started happening, right? Because oh, I can't be distracted with shopping, and I can't be distracted with sports, and I can't be distracted, like, all the distractions, right? Like, all the zeros and ones in the matrix were gone all of a sudden, and you had to sit with yourself. And you know, and that was very, very terrifying for a lot of people. And I honestly think that, you know, I kind of sat back and I was like, I wonder what will happen when we come out on the other side. Right. And yes, I agree. Maybe like 25, 30, I'll be generous. 50% of those people are like, no. I tasted something different, and I know that there's something wrong. Let me follow the rabbit. Right. And red pill, blue pill. But I find like there's a lot of people who are like plugged right back in. Right.
Yeah.
Right back,
just back to it. Yeah.
Because that is a very, very scary thing to, and, you know, I'm going to use the matrix, right? Like, when you choose that truth, it is dirty. It's not fancy. You don't have fancy parties anymore. You're eating gruel. You're wearing, you know, instead of really cool black Prada, and, you know, you're wearing like rags. Right? Like, the truth is truth, but it, you know, flip side, every coin has a flip side. There's a price to pay, and that price is, it's not pretty sometimes. But are you willing to sit in that truth knowing that you are free? Or do you want to be like the other character who's like, I know the steak is not real, but God, I really feel it tastes good in my mouth. I want to be plugged back in.
Yeah, like plug me back in. Right. Well, I think, and that's the difference between, I think, I'm an introspective person. I like to reflect on myself and find out, am I doing what's the best I can with who I am and what I have. And I think the COVID for me was that. It really made that even greater. And I really, like, I got rid of most of my social media stuff. I got rid of so many things. I just cut them out because I realized it's such a distraction, and it takes me away from the time I spent before just to know myself. Physician, heal thyself, sort of. Physician, know thyself. And I think there's that. And then there were so many distractions that it was easy to actually just cruise and hit the ignore button on the snooze. The snooze is telling you to get up, and you could keep just mashing the snooze button and stay in bed. And I think a lot of people did that, but then there were other people who said the alarm woke them up and they got out of bed and they're like, you know, holy cow, there's a whole world out here that I've been sleeping through. I think those people are going to, I think, have the most fulfilling and fruitful lives, because you're connecting with the authentic inner self. I really believe that. And you recognize now the snooze button's on. Like, you can hear it easier. Like, shoot, that's a snooze button. I gotta stop. I gotta get up. So I think one of the most important things for me that came out of that, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, to echo like what Cam said too, as well, about kind of the eclectic nature of putting like different people together. Like, I mean, you know, I talk to people all the time, and some people will be like, oh, you know, there's a sense of like, we start doing this hierarchical, like, where do you live? What do you drive? What do you know? Blah, blah, blah. I just see people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't see color. I don't see what you look like. I don't see how many tattoos you have, or what your background is. Like, I just see you today. And do you come to me with a good heart? Right? Like, what is that you bring to the table? And, you know, all of us have a story, and all of us have, you know, a path we have taken or not taken, or chosen or not chosen. And so to me, it's like that ability to just see the human being and the, you know, and I mean the human being, right? Like,
Right.
like, you know, but again, coming back to like, you know, we put so much emphasis on like, I'm better than you, you're not. How many likes do I have? I don't think I'm good enough for you. You're too good for you. All that BS. It's just clutter, right? And again, I come to like maybe that's just the director in me, or the, you know, the ability to like see down the tunnel and see the frame and see the story and what needs to be brought to the surface, and in almost every respect of what we do. And you, like you, that this yeah, here's you know, the one thing that people always say about me, you may not like me, but you always get the truth from me, and you always get the authenticity from me. And I'm, you know, and that's it. Like, you know, I will point to you and say, the emperor is not wearing any clothes, right? Like I've always been that way since I was a child, God help me. Right. But I think all of us need to do that. And we've so lost that. We've lost our voice to be, and our strength and our ability to point and say, you know what? The emperor's not wearing any clothes. Well, let's talk about that. Is he? Or is he?
Yeah, well,
or what?
I think
you know?
it also gives you it also robs people that you're telling your story to of the opportunity to deal with whatever you present them. Like maybe you tell me a story about your past. It gives me an opportunity to say, do I forgive this person? Am I willing to accept what happened to them, and then take who they are today and then say, you know, that's who informed who they are today. Do I take the person that's in front of me, or do I judge them for a past that I didn't even know them? And if you don't tell me the truth, if you are not truthful about who you are, about what you believe, about where you came, I am enjoying only a false version or a partial version. And it robs me of a chance to grow myself and being able to learn from your story. And it's important to be able to have those discussions. You have to be able to present things to me that are uncomfortable for me. It is necessary for healthy human development. I have to have it.
Right.
You know,
which is why those are the stories we are drawn to on screen, whether we like it or not, because it is messy and it is dirty and it is painful and it is flawed and it is fractured, right? And that's this thing we call, you know, life. Right? Like and so the ability to, you know, see an individual for their story, right? That's what we keep coming back to, is like, what is your story? Tell me your story, right? Because and not the formulaic, and I think that's why so many of us aren't relating to these like formula pieces anymore, where we just literally zone out and tune out no matter how big the special effects are, because we need on a very deep psychological level to connect even to that character on the screen. It's like, I need to know who you are, just like I need to know who's the person sitting next to me or the person that I'm talking to over. I need to know who you are so that I can feel like I'm a part of something bigger, because otherwise it is just zeros and ones. It's a set, right? It is a set and a production design that we just, you know, action, open the door, walk through, beautiful house, tumbleweeds on the other side, no one will know, cut, done, right? Print, and that's it. But that's not, you know, that's not reality.
Yeah, there's a cool saying in South Africa about Ubuntu. Desmond Tutu talks about it in his book, No Future Without Forgiveness. And the Ubuntu is the idea that what happens to you also happens to me. So if something good happens to Lisa, something good happens to me. If something bad happens to Cam, also bad happens to me. And there's this connectivity that happens when we begin to express and experience one another's stories together. You develop an empathy. And I often think about it as in terms of, I wonder if we are not like, in my hand are millions and trillions of cells that don't know what each other are doing, but they're all completely interconnected to serve a function that's so much greater than anything they could even imagine. I wonder if we are not the same way. I felt connected to people on other sides of the world, or stories, or our stories are interwoven. I wonder if you don't just zoom out from who we are, and we're a giant entity that's also doing something else that we couldn't even possibly fathom, you know, because we are all interconnected. Like this cell is connected to this one, even though they're not touching. So I love that.
Yet we think our moment is so big, right? Like it's so huge, right? Like the drama that we build in our day to day, right? Like, I mean, heaven forbid, like again, you know, the the coffee wasn't delivered to me on time, right? Like, I mean, it's and yet, like, whenever I think about that, I think about that Dave Matthews song, Ants Marching, right? And it's like there's this line in the song that I love, and I still remember the video where he's kind of looking down on a New York City street, and it's just like and he goes, people in every direction, no time to exchange, no time to, or no time to exchange anything. I'm blanking on it right now, but I was like literally like, yes. It's like, and everyone, if you zoomed in on them in that moment, had some big PowerPoint presentation or financial thing or something that was so all-consuming. But when you zoom out, it's just this flow,
of people. So, I like taking off. It's the same thing I get when I take off in an airplane and I look down and everything looks so peaceful from above. Like when you're taking off and everything's small and you just realize everyone is all working together to create. Right. I see that when I leave Los Angeles. Every time I take off and I look down, I see a city that's all of these ideas and stories and people's lives have created the mosaic that I'm looking at, and every idea and dream fabricated this reality that experiencing from above. And it's only from above that you can see the whole picture, that our individual lives have created this crazy tapestry that now blankets all of this area in life. I don't know. I enjoy that. I enjoy experiencing people and the things that we create. So I think that's why I'm a filmmaker. That's why I love movies so much, and that's why I'm excited to go to Skiff.
Nice time.
Yes.
Where do we get tickets for this? Yes. Where do we get tickets, and where's the best place to find out your schedules and stuff? Yes.
So website skiff, SCIFF.org.
Okay.
The schedules are on right now. If you go to the attend button and hover over, you'll see all our theaters drop. You can purchase tickets directly from the website as well. You can see our hosted screening blocks on there, like we talked about, the NAACP, Stop the Void, SCV LGBTQ. So that's all up. Our comedy blocks are up. We're just in the process of doing the music as well. So peruse the website. I think you will get a very good sense of who we are, what we're doing, what we're trying to build, what we're trying to bring to the future, and come join us. I don't think our tickets are too crazy, but lots of energy.
Is it one ticket for the whole time, or can you piecemeal? Is that a la carte?
You can piecemeal it. You can buy a day pass. You can buy a festival pass. You can buy like just a film festival pass. You can buy an all festival pass, which gets you into anything, anywhere, wherever you want to go. So just
do you have a 10-year festival pass option? I'd like to buy for the next 10 years.
Lifetime member.
Lifetime membership.
That's right. I should do that. Oh, goodness. No, not yet. Right now it's year by year.
It's time.
Just step by step. And I can't look too far because I might get overwhelmed and run screaming for the hills, so.
I do that every day.
Okay, good. I will join you at what time. I will be there.
It's generally when I see my reflection in the morning. That's when it starts.
Oh my God. So where do you want, one more question here. I guess we're running up on time, but where do you want Skiff to be in, say, what's your vision for, 10 years, 15 years down the future?
Well, I mean,
whether or not the monster has engulfed you or not, but right,
has destroyed me by that point.
Right.
We'll cut you out of its stomach.
That's fine. I will come out. I really do see, again, when I talk about the scalability of Santa Clarita, when I say that, I also think about the community, right? Where, you've got a 7-day festival, and we've got, the next Coachella running from a music standpoint, and, and that's its own beast. And we've got, the shorts running at in the Valencia area, and we've got, features being run in a different area. And, we have a convention center up at our local Hyatt, that we've got our tech convention running, I'm blanking on a name right now.
The latest Unreal or VR,
whatever, right? Happening in there.
That's cool.
That's really cool. The plan is to have that. Love just that. Where people are flying in because they see SCIFF and they go, Oh yeah, we got to be there, right? Like put it on the calendar. We've got to fly in. We've got to take some meetings there. Things are going to happen there. You know, but like I said, like next year, even, you know, I was talking to people who were saying, "Hey, what about theater?" And I was like, "Cool, let's do a theater festival. You know, let's do that, right?" And then what about a food festival? Great, let's do that. You know, I know exactly where we can put it. We'll start with all our local restaurants, and they can
That's
come out.
really cool. That sounds like a blast. I
Great.
like it.
So
I'm
it's
like,
like,
sign me up.
this whole thing, right? Like, so it's like you come out, you get some food, you go get a movie, you go whatever, right? And then, you know, Friday night we're doing a variety show at the American Legion to support our veterans. They get all, you know, they have a bar, all alcohol, liquor goes to them. We get the door, so come drink heavily, all you alcoholics. You know, and then, but it's supporting veterans, so good cause. And, you know, and then we're going to turn it into a club, right? Like we got DJs coming in from Vegas with lights and machines and the whole 9 yards. And we're going to do it on Saturday too. And, you know, and so now you've got a little bit of a club atmosphere and you have some parties going on. So, I mean, it's really kind of, again, we come back to that energy that we're trying to build where like, you know, people come in for, you know, I mean, I don't know that we'll necessarily get to 7 days in like the next 5 years, but like over the next 5 years, like, you know, it's just 4 days of packed stuff, whether it's theater or comedy or whatever, that you can just come in and just have a good time. And you know, and then when you're done, you drive home, right? I mean, unless you're, you know, schnockered, in which case go stay at
Unless you went to the Legion.
Right.
Then just go stay at a hotel.
In that case, call an Uber.
Yeah. Or take the train.
Take the train, but
Take the train, right?
Awesome.
Like, I mean,
Wow. Well, thank
So
you,
great.
Lisa. Wow.
This was fun,
This was
guys.
great.
Like, that was a good fast hour.
Yeah, it goes quick. I'm just telling you, once
Yeah.
you start, like, once you can like dig deep into why we do what we do, everyone, it's so fun. And like, you're like, an hour's already gone. Yes. So you got a taste of what Entertainment Dudes is. And now anybody who's just watching this for the first time, there's literally like 50 episodes. You can go back and watch it. Not only just Lisa's, but incredible people as well who have been sharing their stories. So it's really excited, especially Lisa. Thank you for coming on here and telling us your heart.
I
and what you're
appreciate
doing, what
it.
you're
I really
creating.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited to see it grow. Like I'm excited for you, and it's not even my festival.
Well, I mean, I know it's super close, but if you guys, I mean, not Cam, you're in Nashville, but like, I mean, like if you're, come up for the week, you know, just swing by, say hello, we'll be there.
I'd love to. I mean, I literally live probably 20 minutes from you, so.
Oh, awesome! I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm down in North Hollywood area, so yeah.
Yes, I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, come on up. I mean, it's easy. It's you know, come for the. We'll be you know, stationed at the Lemley, most of us, and it's right in Newhall on Lyons. So come down. You know, that's where we'll be, and just running 170 festival, I mean, 170 films, and then across the street is our music and our comedy, and then we're expanding next year. We're gonna break off the comedy and we're gonna break off the music. Right now they're kind of together, and they're gonna be their own thing. In addition to, like I said, my goal for theater and food. So we shall see.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Great. Well, we look forward to seeing it succeed and seeing it change people's lives for the better. Thanks for joining us, Lisa.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah. All right.
She appreciates it. Just a guy cut her off. So she said she appreciates
I know she appreciates that. I'm going to apologize for Jason.
Yes,
cutting you
I
off,
cut you
so.
off. He
I was
really
like,
controls
oh,
that.
I'm just like, hi, right? Hold on. I'm gonna make up for that. I'm gonna give you some.
You
some
can't make.
Oh, look at that. Camera
full
time.
screen
Camera
time. There we go. Full screen time. All right.
Only problem is I'm not an actor. Otherwise, I would be like, no, where's my angle? Where's my leg?
You're not an actor, so all angles look good on you. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
An act, like, this is my side, my good side. I'm like, every side's my good side. Like, what are you talking about?
Especially when you turn around the other way. That's perfect. Keep it there.
Much better. Thanks.
All
I can
right.
get the same result this way.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh, it's like a green Deadpool. So, I don't know.
Green Deadpool.
Thanks, Lisa. It was a pleasure.
Now she's gonna remove herself. She'll be like,
Now
all
she's
right, that's
gonna
enough.
go,
I'm
bye.
out of here. Oh, she
Well,
did.
there you go.
Okay, she had enough.
She removed
Like,
herself. Yeah, I know.
she had
Wow.
enough.
No, this is really exciting because it's been a long time since I've seen a film festival that it has been like this, and I love seeing it reborn. like
Well, I
going
think
back
it's
to
the
the
first one
story.
too. Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's the first time in a while I've actually been excited about a film festival.
Exactly,
I
right?
think most of them I'm just like I stopped going a long time ago. I think I stopped going to film festivals maybe to hello.
Oh, look. Wow.
There's a pink panted guest that has arrived. It's my evil twin, my diabolical twin. Oh, you're always visible. It's impossible to miss you. You are stunning and beautiful.
All right.
I don't think we can edit that out. It's perfection.
I don't think. Yeah.
Yep, he's in. He's in the show. Yes, entertainment, dude. You just made it very entertaining. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the food, the comedy, all these different pieces that are coming together, and it seems like a creative collaboration. There's going to be a lot of great ideas born out of that festival.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, I absolutely agree with it. I absolutely agree with it. So everyone who's joining us, thank you so much for taking the time to join us in Entertainment Dudes. If you are the first time here, please like and subscribe. We're excited to add you to our yes, and there's another film reel just in case.
I do this.
Can you balance it?
Wait, I don't know if I can.
This is incredible entertainment, like literally. And it's called Entertainment Dudes, not entertaining. Entertaining, dude.
Okay.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, hey, check it out. Until next time.
It's late here. This has been Entertainment Dudes. We'll catch you all on the flip side. Goodbye. I think they can still hear us, even though this.
No, they can't hear us.
Full screen thing is. Yes,
they
can.
No, I'm confident they can't hear
because they can hear us.
No,
you know what they should be doing?
Liking and subscribing, hopefully.
Well, that, and they should be clicking other videos that are on the screen right now.
There's some out there.